Hello, I'm recording this video to continue to show my dad that this game is amazing and hopefully convince him to try it out. Also, because this training scenario is super fun but also super difficult. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The 12th training scenario is docking, and it's difficult because there's a couple of things that this tutorial text box here on the right doesn't tell you, and also the tutorials that I see online, they mention PC controls for the most part. So I'm on the PlayStation 5, so I'll be uh, I'll be explaining what the PC controls would be, what the PS5 controls would be for some of the actions that aren't listed or aren't explicitly stated in the text box. So anyway, uh, we have a stranded ship with L1 and R1. You can go into and out of map view. That way, you don't have to use the whatever other method that they mentioned there. It's much faster. L1, R1, and as you can see, and then L2. If you click in L3, you get the little pointer, and then L2 zooms out. So you can see this little ship here is called Stranded, and they are stranded in space because they're orbiting the Earth, but they don't have any fuel left. So literally stranded. If you press square here, click, you can highlight them so you can see their status, no matter what view you're looking at. Okay. Um, so, what we're gonna do? Press L3. Oh, yeah, we need to click X on them and set them as a target. Okay. Now, even though they are a target, if you look at that angle there, our orbit isn't lined up with their orbit. It's not the same size, nor is it aiming sort of in the same direction. And we need to try and level that out. And the way we'll do that is when you set a target, you get some cursors here, some new little icons, descending node and ascending node. And so we'll click next here. What they want us to do is to line up our orbits. And what it doesn't tell you is that you can click square on this descending node and square on this ascending node, and that'll make the next step super easy. So we're going to create a maneuver. We're going to burn here at the ascending node, and let's see, manipulate the normal direction handle so that your inclination with respect to the target orbit is 0. Okay, so the normal handles would be pressing R1, that's prograde, and retrograde, press L1, that would be the normal and anti-normal handles. And we're going to pull normal, so that would be up. So as you can see here, the descending node is negative 11.5. We want it to be 0. And what the tutorial is telling you is to keep moving that, and then going back to cursor view to hover over it to see what it is, and then going back. Actually, I'm going to pull it anti-normal because I want it to go to 0. So anyway, by clicking on those descending and ascending nodes, you can make these adjustments without having to click back and forth. All right, so we'll keep going to make it 0. We're at 0.3, 0.2, and if you zoom and if you put the camera back down, you can see it's a lot better, right? Our yellow orbit is much more matched, but it's not perfect, not exact yet. We need that to be 0, negative 0.3, negative 0.2. Oh, so when this happens, we're back at negative 0.2. So we can't get to 0 just by manipulating our normal and anti-normal handles. With R1, you want to go back to this. I guess this is a movement node, and move the node a little bit. There you go. You can nudge it. So descending node 0, ascending node 0. That takes a lot longer when you have to toggle in and out of the cursor view. I can press circle to exit that out, and the text box says to execute the burn when you're ready. So remember, L3 activates this cursor mode. So I'm just gonna click right here and warp to next maneuver. And I'll execute the burn. It's a 24-second burn time, so I will do it right at half, which would be 12 seconds. And scoot up a little bit. I'm gonna point towards maneuver target. And 12 seconds. Okay, so it will burn for 23 seconds, full speed. To get really exact, when I get around 3-second burn time left, I'll ease off the throttle so I can sort of pinpoint that burn a little more exact. With L1 and arrow down, you can lower the throttle manually. And then L1 up increases, of course. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and done. Okay, you can click on this node and then click delete it, or you can just click on this little check mark here to remove your maneuver. All right. So now our orbit is right where we want it. It's what is it called? Our orbit and the stranded ship's orbit are now co-planar or planar. Not sure how to say that, but that is good news. All right, the next step is to generate a transfer orbit. All right, so now that our orbits are sort of even, like that, now I need my orbit to kind of match the stranded ship's orbit. And so we'll create a transfer orbit, much like we've done in the previous. If you've done the previous tutorials or trainings, then you'll be familiar with this. And ideally, we want the little targets to be within 5 kilometers. So let me go next. Not yet. Okay. So now what we'll do is we can create a maneuver really anywhere because we're going to be moving a lot. So let's just create it here with R1. We get to these options, and we'll pull our prograde handle until our orbit reaches sort of, there you go, the general area of the stranded ship's orbit, right here, right? The problem is that when we get there, the ship won't be there. So let me explain what these mean real quick. This orange thing is where I will be. Yep, this is where I will be when I get here to this point. When I get here, though, the ship is going to be over here, which is no good. That's, of course, just not even close. But I'll be orbiting around here, and then when I come back into that ship's orbit, I'll be here, and they will be here, which is, again, way too far. So you got to get either the orange icons close, within 5 kilometers, or the instructions. I like to get closer, but we'll talk about that later. Or the pink ones close. So you either want to catch it on your way into its orbit or on your way back. Either way, but we'll shoot for orange. So what we do now is with R1, actually get out of L3 cursor. With R1, we'll go back to this movement node, and we'll just move. We'll move our maneuver down until we get the orange, and this part of the orbit is a little bigger, so I'm going to go back R1, increase that in size a little bit, go, and then back to movement. Okay, look right. We're going to see if we can zoom in here. Our orange icons are getting closer and closer. And actually what I like to do here is to press square there. So you can see the separation. Right now, we would be 95 kilometers apart, and they want us to be within a 5-kilometer range. 7.2, 1.5, even better. 0.3, 0.4. Okay, let me go back. I'm just pressing down on, oh, too far, on the left stick. 0.4. That's good enough for me. 0.4 kilometers away. And so we'll press circle. L3 for the cursor mode. Remember, L2 zooms out, R2 zooms in. Okay, so if we do this burn, then we will meet the ship here, and we will be 0.4 kilometers apart, which is great. For the tutorial, you just have to be within a 5-kilometer range. And so I believe I should be able to go to the next step. Yep, that looks nice. Now execute the maneuver, and this is where we get that recommendation to not go full throttle all the way, but to stop it when you're about at 10 meters per second of delta V left, and make slow burns. So we'll do that. We will do that. Where am I? I'm here. We just click here and say warp to next maneuver. All right. There's a burn time of 20 seconds. So I will start. I will hit full throttle at T minus 10 seconds. Let me point towards my maneuver target. So at T minus 10 seconds, I will hit full throttle, and then I will. I don't cut the throttle at 10 meters per second. I just lower it manually. But the idea is, don't go full throttle the whole burn, or it's just really hard to get it exactly where you want it. We're aiming for a separation of 0.4 kilometers. Just 400 meters. So, oh, I missed it. Full throttle. With L1 and arrow down, I'm lowering the throttle, which increases my burn time seconds because I'm burning less fuel. 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay. I got that one perfectly. I had 0.0 meters per second left of delta V. Okay. Now, where am I? I'm right here. The stranded ship is right here. When the stranded ship is here, I will also be here. And of course, nothing's perfect, so we'll be 1.7 kilometers away. And not the 0.4 that I was planning, but that's still really close. And if we don't get that chance, then if we miss it, then I will still come back here, and at this point I'll re-enter its orbit, but we will be really far away. We will be 500 kilometers away. So that is too far. We have got to make this work on our first attempt right here. And okay, so I should be able to pass this tutorial now. Okay. You can fine tune. Let's wait until we're about 15 kilometers away, and then we will thrust retrograde full throttle until our velocity drops at 50 meters per second. I'll explain all that when it's happening. All we need to know for now is that our next step starts when we're 15 kilometers away, and right now we are 1,000 kilometers away. So let's warp to right about here. Okay, we are 137 kilometers away. That's maybe around here. warp here. 58 kilometers away. $36, $35. How are we doing? 29 kilometers away. Okay, so let's point retrograde. L1 and R1 does that camera, the map view. Okay, press square on this one to reset it, to relock those stats. Okay, so when we hit 15 kilometers of distance of separation, I'm going to burn full throttle in the retrograde direction, meaning this way, which effectively will line up our orbits, because right now our orbits aren't lined up very well. And ideally, when our orbits are lined up, our speeds will be, oh gosh, 14. I need to thrust. Okay, so I will thrust until my relative velocity drops below 50 meters per second, which I'll explain. Actually, let me pause to explain that. So right now, my velocity is 169.8 meters per second relative to my target. So I'm moving very quickly, probably around 2,000 meters per second around the planet, but relative to my stranded ship, I'm going 169.8 meters per second. And so we want to drop that down to 50 meters per second. We don't want to be moving very fast compared to the ship. So we're burning in retrograde until we can get under 50. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, stop. Okay. So we are at 48.9 meters per second and at about 9 kilometers away. And so I should be able to go to the next step. Sometimes I pause to read this because everything keeps moving. Okay, so we're pretty close to the ship and we're moving a little bit slower compared to it. We're going to leave map view. We're going to watch until we're about 5 kilometers away. Point your ship retrograde again. And this time we're going to turn on our RCS thrusters, L1 and 0. Change to docking mode and throttle until your speed drops to 0. Okay, so we'll walk through this step by step. We are close enough to where we can do L1 R1 and look at the ship that way. When we're 5 kilometers away, we will turn in our retrograde direction, which we're already pointing. With L1 and 0, you got to leave cursor mode. L1 and 0 turns on RCS. You can see because this lit up. And right now, if I press L2 and R2, it will rotate, which is not what we want. That's why they want us to turn on this docking mode. It looks like this. Looks like an Earth, but it's not. It's a docking mode. Now, L2 and R2. L2 will thrust me. R2 will thrust me in the direction I'm pointing, and L2 will thrust me in backwards. So I would be thrusting R2 right now when we get to 5 kilometers. Now it says to point retrograde, and I always point at my target, but we'll follow the instructions now. We'll point in retrograde, and we want this speed. Right now we're moving at 48 meters per second compared to the ship. We're moving faster than the ship, and we want it to drop to 0. So at 5, perfect. I am using R2 now to thrust away from the stranded ship. Notice my target speed is going down relative to the stranded ship. Now it says if R2, if these RCS thrusters doesn't slow you down enough to get to 0, then you can technically speed up a little bit just using regular thrust, but sometimes that'll overcompensate that'll be too much, and then you'll fly right past the ship, or worse, you won't get close enough, and then you'll start flying away from it. But we'll see. Right now we're 3.2 kilometers away and about 35 meters per second. Yeah, it's not slowing down fast enough. I might press up and down real quick, super quick on the pad, just to... There we go. Notice it went from 30 something down to 18, so I just pushed up for a few, like a second, half a second, and then pushed down. Now there are some tutorials I saw on YouTube where it says that this is not very efficient because we're going to be going down to 0 meters per second, which means we won't be moving compared to the ship. Only to the next instruction text box is going to tell us to approach the ship at 10 meters per second. And they're saying that's a waste of fuel, right? Why stop if you're just going to have to move again? But there's an important reason that I'll explain once I get to 0. So we're 2.1 kilometers away, and we're moving very slowly compared to the ship, but just for purposes of this tutorial, we'll go down to 0. Okay. And we're there. Okay. Now, we are not really moving in relation to the stranded ship. We're moving in the same direction, at probably very close to the same speed, but we are neither getting farther apart nor closer to them. But because of our orbital differences, notice how we just 0.1. So let's oh no, see, I had the wrong. I wasn't in docking mode. There. No, not there. There. Oh, great. Now I can't get to 0. Oh, no, I wasn't pointing in retrograde. Goodness. Let me point at target here. I should have pressed pause when I was at 0. And let me see if I can... I can't get it exactly at 0 anymore. Well, let me continue. Yeah, cool. Okay, close enough. Maybe because I was at 0 meters per second at some point. The reason why... Yes, the very, very cool people who have uploaded these tutorials. It's right. It's not very efficient to stop the ship completely, only to then get a little bit closer at 10 meters per second. They're saying just, decelerate down to 10 meters per second, and they keep going from there. But the reason they're doing it here, and the reason I recommend you do it if you're struggling with this, is because there is no way to approach this ship other than slowly, and starting from 0, being in the right place, and then getting up to 10 meters per second. It's just a good methodical way of approaching it. If you have done this before and you can dock whenever you want without any problems, then for sure, approach at whatever speed you're capable of. But if you're, from what I've read as well, there's a lot of people who just can't, who can't get this, who are having a hard time, and so follow the tutorial in the sense, stop your ship, stop your speed relative to the stranded ship, and then restart it. So that's why. So now, that we're not moving with respect to the target, or we're moving very slowly, 0.2 meters per second. We were at 0 at some point. All that's left to do is to approach it carefully. This time, point your ship towards a target. Yep, down here. And then thrust using your RCS. Don't let your speed get beyond 2 meters per second. No problem. So we will accelerate up to 10 meters per second. If you start drifting away, brake to a stop again and start the approach once more. I don't know how that's possible, especially if you're aiming at the target. Once you're closer than 100 meters, we'll proceed. Okay, this is where that part doesn't really help. If you're 100 meters away from the ship, going 10 meters per second, and you thrust backwards, which will be the next text box to slow down relative to the ship, you won't be able to slow down in time. Uh-oh, I did too much. 10 meters per second. There. So now we are 1.8 kilometers away from this ship, and we're and our relative speed to the ship is 10 meters per second. If you wait until you're 100, where the tutorial box will go to the next step, you'll be going too fast. I've never been able to slow down going this fast relative to the ship. So I usually start braking a little sooner, or I start thrusting in reverse a little sooner. It's not really braking. Please don't hate on me. You can't really brake in space, but so this is a part where you might get tempted to accelerate more, right? Because it's taking so long. 1.4, 1.3, right? 10 meters per second seems slow, especially when something's 1.2 kilometers away. But instead of speeding up, if you're really truly impatient, just make time go by faster up here. But I'm not going to do that. So for example, again, especially if you're having trouble docking. If you're having trouble docking, then just take it slow. At 900 meters away, I'm going to slow down to 9 meters per second. At 800, I'm going to slow down to 8. It doesn't say this in the tutorial. It says once you get to 100 meters away, we'll proceed. But when you get to 100 meters, you're going to be still going 10 meters per second. And that's just too fast for my level of inexperience. We're at 700, so we'll decrease it to 7 meters per second. Just hit 600, so we're decreasing to 6 meters per second. This is with L2 in docking mode. Change the camera to locked. Locked camera is good because when you're doing the RCS thruster maneuvers outside of docking mode, or in docking mode, left is left, right is right, up is up, and down is down. Very helpful when you're trying to navigate the ship, and when we get closer to the stranded ship. So locked really helps there. Okay, so we're at 500. I'm going to reduce it to 5 meters per second. See, now we're approaching the ship half as quickly as we were before, right? If we were going 10 meters per second right now, this would be going super fast, and then you would panic, and then panic is how we mess up this mission. We're in the 400 meter range, so I'm reducing my speed relative to the target to 4 meters per second. And so as you can see, now we're getting closer, slower, which is okay. We're in the 300 range, so in just a second, I'll reduce our speed to 3 meters per second. Maybe right about now. At some point, it will ask you to open this. I'm just going to do it now. Okay, we're 200 meters per second. 200 meters away, 230 meters away. Let's slow down to... maybe we just make sure we get within the 100 meter range before it passes us by. I just want to toggle the next text box. There we go. We can see silhouette. It's taking. Not sure where the sun is. Yep, we can see it a lot better now. Auto saving, so you know it's the text box is about to pop up. Oh no, I am not in docking mode. See, not good. Docking mode. Alright, let's press pause here. A lot's happening. This happens a lot where you get a new text box, especially right now. Things are happening very quickly. Brake now. That's funny. If you were going 10 meters per second, 100 meters away, yeah, brake now, emergency. You'd be going way too fast. Didn't mean to startle you, but yes, you startled us. Now's a good time to deploy your docking port. I just did that because in a panic, when things are going crazy and you're so close, so just open it when you're a little farther away to you don't have to worry. Right now you're targeting the whole ship, but we can get more precise than that. So we're gonna be targeting the ship's docking port as a target, and then on our own ship, we will also select our own port and do control from here. So right now everything is being calculated from the middle of our ship to the middle of their ship, and we're just going to change it to my docking port to their docking port. Once that's done, approach the target ship again very slowly. The idea is to get both docking ports lined up. Okay, so we are still getting closer. We don't want to get closer right now. '96, '97. We're getting a little farther away, so let me. There we go. Okay, so we will point at the ship's. What is it? Docking port right here. I think it is. With L1 and right stick up, you can zoom in. Up, too much. And hopefully just be able to get a glimpse at this docking port. See if we can press square on it. No, we're not close enough, which is okay. L1 down zooms it back out, but we can do that on ours. Let's click here, control from here. Click. And then you move this cursor away and then press square again to make that go away. So now our measurements are coming from here, right? L1 down to zoom out a little bit. Okay, so what's going on? Let me move this out of the way. What is happening? We are getting farther away. Not good. So let's burn forward a little bit. Okay, we start to reverse that now. 2.8, 2.7. So notice everything I had to do, right? Which wasn't much. Just target my docking port, open it, all those things. That takes time, and when you're panicking, things just fly away. So, get a little closer now. So once we get really, really close, the goal will be, first of all, to be pointed in the same direction. Right now, you can see we're aimed at the ship, but if you see the ship, it's kind of sideways, right? That'll never work. We have to meet nose to nose. So we'll orient our ship in the right direction, but we have to be a little bit closer, of course. And we do that with the left stick, left, right, up, down. Using RCS thrusters, it'll not in docking mode, outside of docking mode. So when you're outside of docking mode, your RCS thrusters, up, down, left, right on the left stick, will change the orientation of your ship. When you're in docking mode, it'll change the direction that your ship is traveling in. So we get as close as we can here. And actually, so we're moving in this direction, and now I'm going to take it out of docking mode so that we can sort of line up we're still in target mode, that's why. We'll go to stability assist, off, and then we will move. There you go. So you see how we're sort of now in, at least oriented in the same direction, right? Now I can go back to docking mode. And we'll do chase for now. Now, actually we'll do locked. Now we're going to be trying to get closer. With the left stick, docking mode, and I'm pressing up right now because the ship is bottom left, right? So adjust it very carefully, a little bit more up now. Okay, now I'm going too fast, so I'm gonna try and slow down. Press down, left on the left stick, left, down, up. Oh gosh, I'm pressing down now because I overshot it. Gonna bring it back, down left, up a little bit. You want to cancel the ship's movement, basically. That's the best way to picture how to move your ship, is to cancel the stranded ship's movement. You see how it's moving to the left now? So I'm going to press right to try and cancel that right movement. And it's moving right a little bit. Okay. So I also flew past it. So let me. Yikes. Hold on. Let me go underneath it. I don't want to crash into it. So just underneath it there. A bit more. Okay, and let me thrust backwards with L2. So right now, this is a good time for me to see how my ship is not lined up, right? So let me get out of docking mode. And L2, the left stick will, there you go. So I think that's pretty lined up. I mean, in the same orientation. L1 down, we'll zoom out a little bit. Yep, that seems like we're oriented. Very good. Okay, now back to docking mode. Remember, outside of docking mode, the left stick will move your ship without affecting its orbit, just in the way it's pointed. And then in docking mode is when you would, for example, now in docking mode, my left stick will actually move my ship. Right? So as you can see, I'm thrusting to the left a little bit. And actually, I'm on the... You know what I forgot to do? It's a good example, right? I forgot to... This is my docking port, and this is its docking port. Okay, we're good. Never mind. We are not docking engine to engine at all. I didn't get a chance to do this, so this is perfect. Set as target. Perfect. I forgot that I'd blown by it a little bit, and I just need to reverse, so no problem. So in docking mode, right? This camera is... I hear locked camera is the best. Okay. So, that looks like we're super close, right? But we're not. Look how far away we are. But that's okay, because now I can just thrust up. This thing should be coming into view soon. Here, my camera. Okay, and I'm also going to thrust backwards. Now I'm thrusting up to cancel that upwards movement sort of that we had. Okay, and I'm going to thrust a little bit right up. Wait, right, so I can bring that in, and I'm accelerating a tiny bit to get closer to it. Go in the opposite direction to cancel out the movement. Move a little bit there. Now this looks good, but I'm probably... Yep, you know what? Let's get this thing out of here. A little bit too high, so... Thrust down like that. Also thrusting forward because I was drifting away from it. This is taking way longer than it. Than it normally would, but again, I'm not an expert, so don't judge me. There we go. Now we can slow down. Let's bring that to 0 if possible. Can't bring it to 0, but 0.1 is as close as we can get. Okay. Now I'm approaching this ship at 0.1 meters per second, which is great. That's very slowly. And you can see I need to come down a tad bit. Remember, when you push down like that, it won't automatically stop. You have to stop it. There's nothing to stop you unless you do the exact opposite. Okay. Bit. Sideways there, and then we'll cancel that movement. Anything you do, you need to do the opposite to cancel it out. Oh. There are magnets here, so that should be okay. Perfect. Once you get super close, there's a magnetized docking port. So perfect. Let's there you go. You need to align your ship. Oh shoot. Okay. Well, everything I was explaining is here. Well done. Perfect. So technically, this is the end of the tutorial. You can quit here, and this will be a success. And I'm just happy that I was able to do it, right? Because it took me a lot of tries. And what was happening was I would end up sort of just orbiting the stranded shuttle. I would get close to it and boom, swing by it. And then swing by it again, and then swing by it again. So that key is to slow down, and once you're within a kilometer, 1,000 meters, approaching it very, very slowly using target mode. And once you're within 100 meters, then using your RCS thrusters in orbit mode to get closer. And the way you get closer is by thrusting in the opposite direction and then canceling that out to kind of level you out on the different axes, so that you're neither above it nor below it nor to its sides. And if you're in target mode, right, you're always pointing at it, but the problem is sometimes you're pointing at it and the stranded ship is sideways. And so that's where you need to leave docking mode. Click here to undo docking mode, and then your RCS thrusters with the left stick will change your orientation of your ship so that your ship is also sideways compared to the other ship. So there's a couple different ways of approaching that, but that's worked out for me think this is the 4th time that I can successfully dock, like right here. But they're telling you here that you don't have to quit the mission. You can actually technically rescue them by either transferring fuel, which they don't recommend and I've never tried, or just transferring the crew to your ship and then going back to Earth, which sounds super cool and which is what we're going to do now. Okay. L1 and the right stick up can zoom in like that. I don't think we need this, so we can toggle that down. Okay, so the way I believe what to do this, cursor, press the docking port, press square here. Wait, what? Square here? Square here? In cursor mode, press square on the docking port to get this menu. Oh, okay, maybe this. Sorry, this little bit. Oh, this little bit. Nope. Where? Oh, on the capsule door. Okay, goodness. There we go. Crew hatch. There you go. Bob Kerman, Bill Kerman. Poor guys. They have been stranded for so long. So we will transfer to. Uh-oh, did that work? Oh yeah, it worked. And then transfer Bill to here. Perfect. So now this ship is empty. Yep. Oh, I always forget. Square out. Square out. Okay. This ship is empty. If you undock right now, there's a glitch. One of the tutorials said this was fixed, but maybe it was fixed on the PC. It's not here. If you undock now, you will have control over this dead ship without any fuel, and that's it. Your mission's over. You will not be able to control your module. So you have to click here on your docking port and click control from here. Then undock. Then follow the promptings here to undock. If you don't do that step, then you'll be stuck controlling this ship with no fuel. So, how do we undock again? The cabin below the coupler won't be surviving the trim. It's below the coupler. What? Okay, let's do next. Oh, shit. Okay, this is done. So let's click here, and let's say undock. Just to make sure I'm so nervous. What if I click here? No, there's no option here. Let's just make sure. This is my docking port, and we're going to control from here. Again, super important if to do this. Perfect. Now undock. Okay. Are we undocked? Undocked. Let's go. We are in docking mode, so let's thrust backwards, see what happens. Oh no. Oh no. So this is which ship am I controlling right now? Did it not work? If I put control from here. I think I am. I think I am. I think somehow I could have sworn I pressed it. Right now it seems like I'm in control. Oh no. Yep. Wait, no. This is the ship here. See, this is the fuel for my ship. This is the fuel for the stranded ship, which is empty, of course. I wish I hadn't clicked out of that tutorial because I am clicking control from here. Status locked. Okay. When I click. Oh, perfect. Okay, I hadn't clicked it correctly. Now let me go to docking mode, and L1 right stick down to zoom out. Go to locked camera. Wait a second. My ship not moving. Oh, okay, that's why. Oh, because okay, my RCS thrusters weren't on, so L2, L1 circle will turn that on, and I can do that if I need to. But I don't need to worry about. My gosh, where did our ship go? The other ship. It's done. So what I want to do now is, okay, so I'm in a nice orbit around planet Earth, and not Earth, planet Kerbal, and we need to go back to Earth, right? With Bob and Bill. Thank you, Valentina, pilot, for this amazing rescue mission. So we've learned that in the previous tutorials, so it's not a big deal. And I'm probably doing this also all wrong, but the way to do that is to just create a maneuver mode, create a maneuver node, and reduce your periapsis to somewhere, I don't know, 50 kilometer. I forgot what the tutorial said. Sometimes I've seen where you can bounce off the atmosphere, so I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna do a periapsis of maybe 9.9, 10 kilometers. There we go. That should suck us into the atmosphere to land. Okay, and we will warp to our next maneuver. The burn time is 18 seconds, so we'll start at T minus 9 seconds. Again, I'm still a beginner, so be patient if I said the wrong things or did the wrong things. Also, don't how do I get my little icons back? I'm gonna pause super quick. I'll cut this part out, but I need to know how to get icons back. Kerbal space program nav ball icons. Appeared. This happened before. Oh, that's right. Okay, now about icons, I'm in RCS mode. I need to go to SAS mode. Perfect. So I will point towards my maneuver. I'll point towards my maneuver node. That's the direction I want to be thrusting in. And full thrust for 17, 18 seconds. At 3, I'll slow down. L1 and arrow down. Just to get the super precise burn. Things happening here. Don't know what happened. There we go. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Boom. Okay. Yep, that should do it. And we're gonna warp right about here. Oh no, what happened? Oh, I was looking at this ship. This is a stranded ship. I'm like, where are we going? We are here now, which is perfect. And yeah, this should bring us into a nice trajectory into the atmosphere and for us to land. And I think at this point now, well, no, don't get rid of your rockets until you know you don't need any more adjustments. Gotta play with these cameras. Okay, so let's just make sure, right? For access 7. Gravity, it should be pulling us down. But just to make sure. Why did time warp stop? Time warp here. Surface. Also, the top thing here got removed. Oh boy. Yep, press X. And then X again. I did that way too late. Holy smokes, my little dudes were burning up. And the reason you need to stage it is because this is the part that has a heat shield. That front part did not have a heat shield. Also, I forgot to close this. Super dangerous. Terrible, 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 terrible. That was very scary for them, probably. Oh no. So these, it's not safe to do the parachutes yet. There you go. It just turned yellow. And then the main one will go out in just a second. Because of time, we're gonna speed things up a little bit. Time warp 2, time warp 3. Oh no, just 2. We're coming up on a full hour or so. This doesn't take 60 minutes, but hopefully this helps. I had to do a lot of corrections. There we go. That's the main chute. Well, it's the same chute. It's just because of I think the pressure and the speed. It doesn't fully open until it's safe to do so. I'll probably rip it to shreds at the higher atmosphere. This is very exciting. Docking mission and then rescue and bringing him back home. Perfect timing right as we're reaching the hour mark. And there you have it. Super happy. Yep, you can see the gratitude on their faces. Cool. That is an explanation of how to do the docking mission on the PlayStation 5. Enjoy and good luck.